I accidentally made rabbit plywood. This is what I was going for, not this. I started a rabbit hide tanning series, and this rabbit hide was tanned using bark, which bark tanning does not make the hide soft. It does break down the fibers, but you have to continually stretch it while it's drying and break those fibers down. But I got really busy with this one and I was not able to keep stretching it before it all the way dried. But the good news is this is not ruined and we're going to fix it. You don't want to soak the entire hide. We're just going to rehydrate it and then you're going to go to town on it. You're not going to be gentle or easy. You're just going to start breaking those fibers again. And you don't want to just go one way. You want to go every direction, circular. If it's really hard, you can wrap it in a damp towel for a couple hours to make sure you have enough oil on it. I still have tallow left on mine, so I'm not going to put more. You can even go back with your sanding paper and try to get those edges really good. And even working this over a stone works best. You can see this is already so much better than when we first started, but it just takes patience and time working and working and working until it's completely dry. If it's still damp and you have stopped working it, it will dry hard again. But this is obviously going to be a lot easier if you do it right the first time and you don't let it dry out and then have to rework it. But homesteading is imperfect and you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna get too busy, and it's not about everything going right, but about fixing it when it doesn't go right. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the hopper popper and why we use it to process our meat rabbits. A lot of people say there's better ways of doing it, but in my opinion, the hopper popper is by far the easiest and most humane. A lot of people ask why we're not using a pellet gun or the broomstick method. Using a gun, you have to make sure that you are super precise and how you're holding them, and the broomstick method, you have to make sure that you have the strength to do that. And I've actually never done broomstick method, but it sounds like it could be unstable and a lot could go wrong. We love the hopper popper because it is securely attached to the wall and it takes all the guesswork out of everything. Last thing you want to do is process your rabbit and not do the job fully and put them through any more pain or suffering than they have to. I would never say that processing is easy, no matter how long you've been doing it. Whatever way that you're choosing to process your meat rabbits, I just feel that you want to make sure that it's super reliable and it's fast, it's humane, and the whole thing is over super quickly for them. A lot of people say, I don't understand how you can snuggle a rabbit or take really good care of a rabbit and then process it. But at the same time, I don't understand why you wouldn't take really good care of the animals that you have while you have them, and when processing day comes, they just have one bad day. All about your mindset, and if your mindset isn't right, you're not going to make it as a rabbit breeder. You have to know what is more important to you. Is it more important for you to not have to go through the processing of rabbits and just go and buy your meat from the store? Or is it more important to you to know exactly where your food is coming from and what's in it, and it's not wrapped in plastic and pumped full of antibiotics? Processing is the hardest part of raising meat rabbit. But for us, we're willing to go through that because we want to provide our family with clean, organic, wholesome food. And while we're raising them, we're going to give them the best life possible. So let's talk about what else is going on in the homestead. Our lemon tree here has like over 50 lemons on it in our winter greenhouse, and we are so excited to harvest our first lemon. Last year, January, our banana tree produced a big thing of bananas for us, but hasn't yet this year. We decided to plant some lettuce, spinach, cilantro, and carrots in our raised beds here in the greenhouse. So far, they're doing really well, and we're hoping to be able to have some fresh greens here soon. I picked those 4 things because I know that they're hardy and they can handle if it gets a little chilly. Here we actually ran out of wood to heat our winter greenhouse, and we don't have a bunch of trees that we can take down on our property. So how are we going to finish the year off heating our greenhouse? Because we definitely do not want to lose all the fruit that is coming on this lemon tree and all the years of growth we have put into all these fruit trees. So we may have cheated a little. We found a local sawmill and they were selling these weird chunks of wood, and it was only $50 for all of this wood. And no, we're not going to be able to stack it like pretty and Homestead perfect, but it is going to heat our greenhouse and it is going to keep everything above freezing. Some years it's not about everything going perfectly. It's about adapting and figuring out how to solve the problem. We do go through a ton of wood heating our winter greenhouse, but it's what works for us. And a lot of people tell us you should be doing this system or you should be doing this, or there's a lot of fancy ways to do it, but we don't have the space in our greenhouse, and heating with wood just really works for us, and our trees are doing amazing with it. You can just see how loaded this tree is, all of these blooms and buds and lemons. I cannot wait to harvest them and follow along to see what we're going to do with all these lemons and how we're going to store them. Apparently we've been drying up our Jersey milk cow all wrong. I didn't realize how much dairy cow people don't trust the vet, because the vet told us that we should slowly reduce dairy feed and decrease the amount of time that we have the milk machine on her. But apparently everybody else online was saying that's the fastest way to give your cow mastitis. This is actually our first time drying up our Jersey cow. I can talk about meat rabbits all day, but dairy cow, this is the first year. So we did get our cow to drop from 5 gallons a day down to about 2.5 in the morning, and that was over the course of a month. And so now we have stopped milking her morning and night, so we went down to once a day. We've done a lot of reading and research, and what we feel is the best thing to do is we have started milking her just once a day over the past 4 days, and now today we are not going to milk her at all. Tomorrow we're going to milk her out completely and give her Synergy, which is a natural udder product. That's hopefully going to help her to not get mastitis as well. So after we milk her out, that's going to be it. Hopefully milking is done and hopefully she does not get mastitis. But follow along and I will tell you if this goes well or if it doesn't, and you can learn right along with me and even learn from my mistakes. Giving your dairy cow a break before she calves is something that is definitely necessary, and that's why we are drying her off. But when they are super high producers like our cow at 5 gallons a day, it does get a little bit difficult. Also drying her up a bit early because she's having a hard time keeping weight on and milking and growing a baby. When you see that, it's just really important that you put the cow's health above your need for milk. So it's been 4 days milking just once a day in the morning for our Jersey cow, and today we administered this Synergy Clearance Dry Cow Udder Oil. It is an organic dry off solution, and I actually wish more people were talking about this because this looks amazing, and I will definitely tell you if it works or if it doesn't, but I have high hopes for this. It has organic sunflower oil, sage oil, rose, thyme, fennel, oregano, eucalyptus, lemongrass, grapefruit, and lavender. And it actually smells really good, but we just went ahead and inserted this up into her teat after her last milking, reducing the feed and reducing the amount of time that she was being milked over the past 4 weeks. And then 4 days we went to milking once a day in the morning. The 5th day we did not milk her at all, and then today is when we milked her completely out and put this up into her teat. And so now we should be done, and we're praying she does not get mastitis. This is our first time using this, and this is our first time drying up our Jersey cow, so you're learning right alongside with us, but I think this is going to work. We've been monitoring her, and so far everything is looking really good. Keep following along and I will let you know how the whole process plays out. So this week on the Homestead, we tried a couple of things that might sound a little unusual. One of them was a cooking experiment, and the other one was something a little more practical for everyday life. Two things we have a lot of on our homestead is rhubarb from the garden that we freeze for all winter, and we always have a constant supply of meat rabbits. So today we're putting them together. I know most people think rhubarb only belongs in pie, but historically farmers didn't waste ingredients, and rhubarb grows like crazy on a lot of homesteads. Homestead. So people actually used it in savory cooking as well. Also got rhubarb crisp in the oven for tonight. Rabbit is a really lean meat, so traditionally you pair it with something acidic like wine, tomatoes, or mustard, or apparently rhubarb. So now we're going to add chicken broth. This is thyme, about half a teaspoon of mustard, and a splash of apple cider vinegar. Then you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey. Just adjust to your own taste. And then we're just going to put the rabbit back into the cast iron skillet, put the lid on, and simmer for about an hour until it's tender. Honestly, this could go one of two ways. This could be amazing, or this could be the weirdest thing we've ever cooked on our homestead. But this is actually looking and smelling really good. So this has been on for about an hour and it's nice and tender, looks really good, but how does it taste? Because of the rhubarb, it's actually pretty thick on its own, like a sauce. Well, here it goes. Interesting. I did add a little bit more honey because it was a little bit too sour for me still, but it's actually pretty good. I think this would be really good with mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables. Definitely something different on the homestead. Not the same old, definitely worth giving a try. Today we're going to make an all-purpose cleaner from things we have right on our homestead. Mine naturally contains compounds called terpenes. These are powerful natural oils that help break down grease and odor. Oranges contain natural citric acid and oils, which help cut through grime and leave surfaces fresh. And cloves, which I only have ground, whole is better. They are naturally antibacterial because they contain a compound called eugenol. Cinnamon also contains antimicrobial properties. We are going to add 2 cups of water and simmer this for about 20 to 30 minutes. Your house is going to smell amazing. And as it simmers, it pulls all the natural oils out of these ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and strain it into my glass jar. We're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of vinegar. Vinegar helps break down grease, mineral buildup, and bacteria. Together, these ingredients make a really effective cleaning solution. You can also put all these ingredients into a glass jar and cover them with vinegar and leave it set for 2 or 3 weeks. It will slowly infuse into an all-natural cleaner as well. Sometimes the best cleaning supplies are grown right outside your back door, and they're obviously a lot cheaper. So it's the end of the week, and today is kind of just a boring day, and honestly, I love the boring, simple days. Went to breakfast with a friend and came home to finish up doing some chores, just feeding the rabbits, watering rabbits, all those normal things, that boring things that if you don't do, your homestead won't keep going and won't thrive. But homesteading isn't about the highlight reels, but it's about consistency, doing the boring things every single day, the simple, peaceful things. Thanks for spending the week with us on our homestead. Let me know what questions you have, and we'll see you in the next one.